So you have now all seen actual cold, hard data that backs up what we have been coming to you and saying for literally years. And this data is from our own city. It's not from elsewhere like all the other data that we've always kind of like brought in here. You cannot continue to ignore the issue. You cannot continue to ignore the people, okay? And we cannot allow the police to continue to be the ones to investigate themselves. It's like asking a toddler with crumbs on their lips and their fingers if they were the one who ate the cookie and then believing them when they say no. This is why we must focus on the cases that OPSA and Sac PD disagree on. You cannot tell us not to. We saw a video of a child being terrorized, a child being terrorized by those who are supposed to actually be serving us. You mentioned budget as one way to hold Sac PD accountable. Why was this presentation not agendized before the budget hearing? And why did you increase their budget so significantly? Why do you continue to blatantly ignore the Community Police Review Commission's recommendations? You refer to George Floyd's murder as a murder appropriately. However, you refer to Stephon Clark's murder as his death. Why the difference? You ask what's happened since 2019. How about a whole ass class action lawsuit from many of my comrades out here who were significantly injured by your Gestapo pigs during the George Floyd uprising? One of my friends almost fucking died, okay? And training is not the answer. First of all, you cannot train the brutality out of people. And on November 28th of 2017, Christine Feenstra, CPOA's training manager, came into the council to report that the crisis intervention training was not to the standard that it should have been. In the early hours of September 6th,
your time is complete. Thank you for your comments. Our time is complete. John Long is our next speaker. Thank you for your comments.
Thank you,
Please
Ms.
take your
Brannon.
seat.
Thank you, Ms. Brannon. Madam Clerk, please
Take
call
your
the next
seat.
person.
John Long. John Long is our next speaker.
Thank you. I too did not come here intending to speak, but I have to do so. I'm standing here before you as really a white woman of privilege. And as a white woman of privilege at age 65, I have had 3 frightening encounters with police in my life. I was once illegally detained in handcuffs by an off-duty police officer that ended up in court, and I received a settlement for the abuse of my constitutional rights. I once was pulled over for a very minor traffic stop and was subject to an illegal search of my vehicle. And then I was once also a near victim of a spousal abuse situation. I called the cops to remove the offender from my home, and they dismissed me and walked away and left me with my potential abuser. And the only way I was able to get him out of my home was to call his friend and have him come over and talk him down and remove him from my home. So no, I'm a white woman of privilege, and I don't trust the police. I break out in a sweat, and my heart races when I see policemen and policewomen. They give me no comfort, they give me fear. I can only imagine the kind of fear I would feel is if I were a black or a brown person of color. I couldn't imagine, and I'm sick to death of seeing unarmed black people being executed by the people who are supposed to protect and serve, not terrorize. And I'm also very disappointed that my district representative, Lisa Kaplan in District 1, was among the rest of you who voted to pass a $228 million budget for the police department instead of investing that money in our community.
Thank you for your comments. Your time is complete. Thank you for your comments. Our next speaker is Samuel. Here's Casey Thompson.
Next. Yes, hi, thank you. Yes, Casey Thompson, resident of District 4. I think, I just want to echo 99% of the people who have spoken tonight, excluding that last Nazi, who were just completely disgusted by the findings of this report, although not entirely surprised. That video was chilling. And I want to just take the opportunity to uplift a handful of demands. Given the $8.4 million increase to the police budget that the council approved last week, which I think demonstrates that the idea of police oversight is a bit of theater meant to placate us, but I hope that the council will prove me wrong. I think that it's reasonable for the council to take the following actions in light of this report, at least as a first step in addressing some of these issues. So to pass an ordinance empowering OPSA's Inspector General and Sacramento Community Police Review Commission to serve as an independent oversight to the Sacramento Police Department to ensure compliance with city code and state and federal law. These organizations have to have enforcement power of some kind of real oversight, and not just the ability to make recommendations that the council summarily ignores. We need to have a data transparency ordinance. There should be a traffic enforcement dashboard on stops, including searches and seizures, so people can easily find statistics. Baltimore and Memphis have implemented similar models. Pretextual stops need to end, period, as recommended by the OPSA audit in finding number 9. And traffic enforcement should be taken from police officers. It should be an unarmed civilian traffic enforcement model. Berkeley and Senate Bill 50 provide models for that. Our parking enforcement is done without using armed sworn officers, and there's no reason that driving on the road should lead to a Fourth Amendment violation, unauthorized search and seizure, a legal pat down, or anything else.
Thank you for your comments. Next speaker is Margot.
Hi all. My name is Margot. I'm a resident of District 4, the chair of the Sacramento Democratic Socialists of America, and a former staffer on the Assembly Select Committee for Police Reform, in which I assisted in writing and publishing the State Assembly's informational recommendations on police reform in California. And just to, echo a lot of the sentiments that have been mentioned already, there are deep cultural issues within police departments all over California. And no matter how much PR or how much money or lobbyists or even the police officers union, no matter how many of those organizations give PR for this issue, it still persists because policing has been based in white supremacy since it was created. So, yeah. And just to this ridiculous conversation, honestly, it's absolutely disgusting that after the thorough and nuanced report by OPSA that you allow the chief to come up here and offer apologia when we just saw a video of a 10-year-old being harassed and traumatized. It's absolutely disgusting. As elected, it's your responsibility to insist on nuance in these conversations, and the only person I saw do that was Katie. The lack of nuance in these conversations on the side of the police department is completely unacceptable, and we refuse to continue to be gaslit. But it's quite obvious from those of you who took money from the cops during your campaign that you will never insist on this nuance because it serves you, and we know your names. You regularly deny the legitimacy of claims of community organizers in these chambers who have told you about their experiences with police misconduct. We already know the culture of law enforcement is racist. We don't need a report to continuously tell us this and waste our time, as much as I do actually appreciate this information by OPSA. Chief Lester says that it doesn't show a sustained culture of bad policing, but you've only—
Thank you for your—
Members of the Sacramento City Council, my name is Aisha Jenkins, and I stand before you representing the African American Employees Leadership Council, City's Employees Resource Group. On behalf of our group, we'd like to express our deep concern regarding the recent report conducted by the Director of Public Safety Accountability, OPSA, on the Sacramento Police Department's Misconduct Complaint Cases, Improper Search and Seizure. The findings of this report shed light on numerous problems that demand immediate attention and action. This report is consistent with the lack of support Black city employees receive through the city's internal claim process, resulting in unsubstantiated, uninvestigated EEO claims, hopeless whistleblower complaints, thus filing of lawsuits. Serious issues exist within some of the city's departments in addition to the Sacramento Police Department and Fire Department. Because it has not been taken seriously, the OPSA's audit exposes this behavior. How do we, the AAEOC, know there's not racism embedded throughout all city departments internally and externally without an independent audit? This is troubling. As this report highlights the most impacted people, Blacks and Latinos, this is a small sample of a bigger problem. The AAELC continues to advocate not only for fair treatment of city's Black employees, but also its citizens. The continued occurrence of violation of unlawful stops, searches, and seizures not only undermines basic rights of our residents, but also has the potential to lead to disastrous consequences and further victimization of our citizens. The AAELC stands ready to partner and assist in any way possible to reverse this troubling trend. Our commitment to collaboration extends beyond mere words, and we are eager to work hand in hand towards implementing actionable solutions. In conclusion, the AAELC urges the Sacramento City Council to prioritize the reform of the Sacramento Police Department to ensure that constitutional rights are upheld, fairness is maintained, and trust is rebuilt within our community. Together, through transparency, accountability, and collaboration, we can create brighter and safer future for all residents of Sacramento. Thank you for your attention and consideration.
Thank you for your comments. Your time is complete. Our next speaker is